spend 18,720 hours in school with teachers and our friends. Teachers are a big part of our lives. We spend that much time with them. So I think that the current salaries for grade school teachers is too low. One, because low salaries discourage others from potentially becoming teachers. The education of our youth is in our teachers' hands, and happy teachers make better teachers. First of all, low salaries discourage people from becoming potential leaders. A lot of students choose to get their teaching credentials as a backup plan if their original plan doesn't work. And which means that less people are becoming teachers because they think that other jobs that are out there are better than becoming a teacher. Second of all, the education of our youth is in our teachers' hands. The teachers play a really important role in the kids' lives. I mean, they're with them like all the time, and especially in elementary school when you spend your entire day with a teacher. I mean, in middle school and high school it's kind of different because you spend like an hour with each teacher. But I find that a lot of kids look up to the teachers, especially if they're like really good teachers and they actually like impact the students. And especially special education teachers, I think their jobs are like really important because the special ed kids, they need a lot of help, and the teachers help them a lot more than you think. My sister, she works with special ed students, and she really like loves her students. Like, you fall in love with them because they're just so lovable, and you want to help them. She spends a lot of time with them. Sometimes like even after school, teachers actually do a lot of after school hours. People don't realize it, and they put in a lot of effort in like all their work and everything they do. And I think that happy teachers will make better teachers because the teacher's attitude is obviously reflected in the teachers, their teaching and their performance in class. Because I mean, if there's a teacher up there and they just look like they hate their lives, like I'm sure you guys have had a teacher like that, where they're just teaching up there and they look like they don't want to be there. It's like, it doesn't make you not even want to learn the material because they're just so boring. It's just like not something that you want to do. You really don't want to be there either. But if you have like a happy teacher, like in 7th grade, I had a teacher that she loved algebra. She like just loved math. And it actually made math really interesting because she was like a funny teacher and she loved math. And it made you love math kind of with her too. I think that even though we like to deny it, money kind of does have some kind of influence in our happiness. Because I mean, obviously, if we don't have enough money, then we can't really have a decent life. And like money will make us happier, not happy really, but happier. And I think that if the teachers are paid more and they'll enjoy their jobs more. So then they'll be more invested in their students and their jobs, and therefore the students will enjoy their classes more. And you also have to think that teachers only work typically for like 10 months of the school year. That's different from like everyone who works like year round, and it kind of they don't get paid over the summer unless they are like a summer school teacher. So that's like it's hard on them because for all that summer they don't have pay. Like, what are they supposed to do? They have to take up a side job, or like they have to save up throughout the entire year. And then according to the New York Daily News, the highest paid teachers are in New York and the best paid schools are in New York too. So I think that there's some kind of correlation in there because it can't be just a coincidence that the highest paid teachers and the best schools are both in New York. So, conclusion, I think that the current salary for grade school teachers is too low because the low salaries discourage people from entering into the field of teaching. The education, the education of our youth in their hands, and because the happier the teacher is, the better the teacher is.
All right, well, I like the nice fact that you have to get our attention at the beginning of the speech, although it doesn't generally relate to anything except kind of a general idea about the significance of education. Unfortunately, it's the last real fact that we get in the presentation. Later on, you have one piece of testimony evidence that talks about the highest salaries and the best schools, and that's it. Everything else are hypothetical examples, and I think that's problematic. There really needs to be a lot more substance here. What salary, for instance, I mean, your proposition is that their salaries are too low. So what salary would be enough? We don't have any statement about what that salary would be, whether it's relative to where they work or the number of students that they teach or the the kinds of classes that they teach is not really discussed. This is a complicated issue, and I think that you need to focus a little bit more. If there's a shortage of teachers, then maybe that's a demonstration that the salary is too low because there's not enough income to draw teachers there. On the other hand, if we have a surplus of teachers, then that seems to suggest that salaries are either at the right spot or they're probably a little too high and they're drawing too many people into the field that can't be sustained by the amount of students that are there. I think that there's just not much discussion of what's sufficient or what's adequate or what's needed. You really have a value argument that you're kind of passing off as a claim of fact here. I did think that you had a nice layout of the secondary points, so I knew what the structure was going to be, and it was usually clear when you went to those points. I thought you did a very nice job speaking to the audience. I like the personal examples. I think that helps give you a sense of credibility and make the subject a little bit more interesting to the audience. But the shortage of evidence, I think, is really damaging to your ability to make the inference that you want us to believe. All right, thank you.